I'm too tired to talk to the team.
Just 1 second. Just a year. Ready if everybody else is good to go. Go ahead.
Coach, your thoughts on the win and taking question?
Thoughts are pretty simple. I'm elated, excited, everything else. I was maybe more than anything proud of our guys. They really competed. I've sat here a number of times this year and talked about how discouraged I've been with the results of the games, but not all that discouraged with the team. But we talked a lot the last couple days, maybe the last week, about making winning plays down the stretch. I thought we did some of that. And then really talking about just because they're playing hard and they're nice kids doesn't mean we're a true team yet. And I keep telling how much I like them, and they are playing hard and everything else, but to be a team, to be a winning team, you got to buy into a different level. When the guys come in, you can ask them about the story of the geese, and we talked about that yesterday, and about teamwork and the things we can do collectively if we're bought in. And the best things of the game were just the moments of guys that didn't play or didn't play very much and how excited they were. Guys that, TJ didn't play much in the second half at all, and he was so into the game. It was awesome watching him and him getting guys cheered up and everything else. So that part's the most exciting, and feels good.
Coach, just talk about how Jordan stepped up in the second half and then in overtime too.
Well, he's obviously a very good player, a great kid and everything else. And I've some of his better games, I've even challenged him and to do more and more and more and more and more. And we need guys to step up and be leaders. And it doesn't have to be by scoring, but in some ways it does need to be scoring too. And we did a lot of things late in the game, throughout the game some, but especially late in the game, designed for him to get shots and make plays. And he did some really nice things, and the guys executed some things late throughout the game that I would label winning plays. In the last game against Houston, they played hard, but we looked, I clipped in my mind what were winning plays and what were plays that were not winning plays. I think the ratio was 5 to 34. And this game will be much different because I thought we made plays that were winning type plays. And winning plays it's not just making a shot. It's diving on a loose ball, it's being in the right position, it's getting the call correctly, that kind of thing.
It seemed like you guys really turned up the defensive intensity in the second half. Is that something you guys talked about at the half?
I talked about it before the game. It was one of my keys to the game. With the team, I put 3 things up there every time, and I wanted our defense, because they're a very well-coached team, they're a very good team, and if they just run through their sets, they're hard to guard. And so I wanted our defensive pressure and defensive energy to be a big impact in the game. And needless to say, in the second half, it was much more so. Scoring 25 points off turnovers is a big, big deal, and forcing 21 turnovers is a big, big deal. And again, that's the effort and energy is kind of where it stemmed from.
I know in the grand scheme of things, this is only conference game number 6, but do you feel like with the streak that you guys had coming in, there's a bit of a weight lifted off your shoulders to get that first one out of the way?
Yes. Well, let me talk about myself first. I guess it is, and I have tried not to think in those terms. But in the second half, early in the second half, we had a timeout, and we just keep riding the guys and riding them, try harder, and that kind of thing. And we kind of stopped and said, whoa, guys, relax. Everything's going to be okay. Just relax and play basketball like you would in the summer. Would you be this casual or not casual? Would you be this nervous or passive if it was in the summertime? And I think after that timeout, we really did some nice things, more attacking and just playing. These are good players, and they need to go back to when they were 6 and 8 years old playing basketball because they love to play. And I think that you saw some of that in the second half.
Against Houston, you erased a 13-point deficit and didn't win. Tonight, erased a 15-point deficit. This time, though, you got it done. Just any, similarities in the fight you saw in you guys between those 2 games, and maybe anything different you saw in terms of closing down the stretch?
Well, similar type things. We did fight. We've unfortunately had too many games where we fought back, where we get down early and then fight. And one of the things to be a winning team, we have to learn how to play more consistently throughout a game and not build those deficits early. But needless to say, I'm awfully proud of the guys and the way they fought. And again, it's something I said more than once now, is that we made winning plays. Especially the more the game went on, the more winning plays I felt like we made.
Just from an emotional standpoint, seeing the guys happy after a game, how much does that do for you and for not just for you, but for the other coaches and for everybody in the organization?
I think that's an unbelievable question, and it's that's probably the one thing that's been the hardest for me. Is I keep telling the guys, you're doing the right things, and come in the locker room and say we came up short again. And so to be able to take Quincy, when I ran in that locker room, and he stood in there and gave him a chest bump, and I'm a little bit above my playing weight, he went through the brick wall. So I don't know if he'll be playing next game or not, but it's the kind of thing that to be able to see that and have a happy locker room is, Coach Williams always talks about, you could put a big pile of money, you know, a few $1 million there, and take away that feeling in the locker room. I can't say I'm Coach Williams and that I would give up $3 million, but I would take that feeling, and seeing that locker room right there is a special deal.
You've played what I thought, what I've seen, the best 4 minutes of the season, the first 4 minutes of the game, and then the next 4 minutes weren't so good. But tonight, you guys didn't wilt when you had a bad stretch, and same thing in the second half. Was it just they're finally buying in? Or?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that, because I feel like they've been bought in, but I think in their minds they've been bought in. You know, and they listen and do what they think is right, but there's a different level out there that that they haven't. Yeah, the light kind of came on, and you know, Rod Rucker is only going to be as good as Rod Rucker can be, but when Rod Rucker can rely on Foz to help him, then Rod Rucker is going to be better. And I think with the entire team, that's the kind of thing that they understand, that they're good as individuals, but once we can really buy in and rely on each other, we're going to be a lot better.
Play the entire overtime without Rucker, most of it without Purifoy. I mean, is that normal? I mean, that lineup you had left, I mean, Foz had 4 fouls. You're really facing a lot of adversity in overtime. Just talk
find a way and make winning plays, and hopefully we talk about that and we do that more in the future. But the guys stepped up, and guys that didn't play for a period and came in and played great, and guys that were really, really tired gutted it out and continued to make plays.
Get that bucket right before halftime. You come out after halftime, I believe it was almost 5 minutes without any points scored. What did you say to your team to try to keep them positive during that stretch?
Well, I think that was the stretch we kind of said, hey, let's lighten up a little bit and, you know, enjoy the game. And it's not it can't be the weight of the world on your shoulders. Enjoy the game, enjoy each other's company, and just enjoy playing hard and let it go a little bit. And then that's when we kind of started inching back into it.
Take one more question if there is one, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.